imagine that this is the setting of our town or our village or our locality. Alright? Now observe carefully, alright? What happened? What did you observe? Cars fell down and the houses are all topsy-turvy, isn't it? So just imagine that the same thing happens to you in real life. Won't it be scary? Yes. It will be very scary. So in the same way, when we face earthquakes, it is very scary and it tends to destroy our houses, it tends to destroy our lives also, isn't it? Yes. Now, how many of you watch news or read newspapers? Raise your hand. All of you should be reading the newspapers or watching the news, alright? Now, recently, Australia, especially the northwestern side of Australia, was in the news, alright? Due to the cyclone Lua. Alright, now I will leave this in the class, you can read this during the break, alright? Now, Australia was in the news because of the cyclone Lua, alright? Now, this cyclone threatened to destroy the lives and also the livelihood of the people, isn't it? Now, such destructions that causes, that destroys the life of people as well as our livelihood are better known as disasters. Alright, therefore class, today we will be studying about disaster and we will focus mainly on the types of disaster. Types of disaster is a sudden calamity or happening that threatens the survival of human beings. Soldiers, they are carrying heavy machinery like guns and also extra bullets with them, isn't it? Now these soldiers must have had sleepless nights and also they must have been deprived of proper food, isn't it? So these wars, they not only trouble the soldiers as such, but it also destroys the settlement, alright? Because of the bombs and because of the various killings, it also destroys the settlement or the infrastructure that is present in the place, alright? Now, such disasters which is caused due to the fault of man, same thing. Cite another example for man-made disaster. It is known as man-made disaster. So the example for man-made disaster is disaster is a disaster caused due to the changes in climate. Alright, climatic disaster. So climatic disaster is caused due to the changes in the climate. Alright. Now you take the chart again, class. Here we can see the picture of drought. Alright. Alright. So therefore, due to lack of water, we face drought, isn't it? Now we are also facing waves like we are facing it right now, isn't it? We are not getting proper water. We cannot even wash our clothes or our utensils properly. We have to save water and use it, isn't it? Now, the second example, class look at the chart. The second example for flood, for climatic disaster is flood. And now this is caused due to excessive rainfall, isn't it? Now you can compare. Here, drought is caused due to the lack of water, but in the much of everything is bad, isn't it? Now, the third type of disaster is geological disaster. Right? Now here in this example chart, look at the chart. You can see the volcano. Now these lava, it's not, it causes so much destruction to mankind, alright? And not only that, the smoke that the volcano emits, alright, that the lava emits, has caused so much problems, alright? Now, try to give an answer. Why do you think the smoke that the lava emits causes problems for us? It is harmful, yes, and also the visibility in the air, especially for airplanes, is not good, right? Now, the smoke that this volcano emits, alright, it reduces the visibility in the air, alright? So, in 2011, due to the active volcanoes like the volcanoes in Pompeii in Greece, the various international airports had to be closed down, right? Such as the Heathrow Airport in London. Okay. Now this smoke is so thick that you cannot see properly. Alright. Now from this example we can see that geological disaster is a disaster caused due to the various forces operating inside the earth. Now in this chart you can see that, look at the chart guys. The lava is flowing out, and the lava is flowing out because there must be something that is pushing the lava out, isn't it? Okay. So the various forces operating inside the earth, the geological disaster is caused due to the various forces operating inside the earth. You understand? Now the third is geological disaster. Now, war. Yes, so that any landslide will fall under what kind of disaster? Very good. Climatic disaster. Now, Giriraj. Cite another example for geological disaster. Tsunami. Yes, very good. Tsunami. Now, if you are aware of the news and if you read newspapers often and if you watch news often, then you can recollect. You can recall what happened last year, isn't it? During March, Japan had faced a traumatic experience, right? With a tsunami and also an earthquake. So now class, look at the chart. This is a picture of the earth destroyed so many lives and also the settlement of the Japanese people. Alright. So now let us write the example here. The example of geological disaster is landslide. Sheila? Why do you think disasters affect us so much? Because also the places that we live in, isn't it? It destroys the environment. It destroys the livestock that we keep. Alright. Now, class, let us recapitulate what we have studied. The first is disaster. Look at the blackboard class. Disaster. Disaster is a sudden happening or calamity that threatens the survival of human beings. Alright. Now we have also learned about the types of disaster. The first is man-made disaster. And man-made disaster is caused due to the faults of man. Alright. Now, the example for man-made disaster is conflicts. Now, look at the chart class. The other examples for man-made disaster is war and terrorist attacks. Now, you must be recalling the 9/11 terrorist attack in New York, Twin Tower, right? So that is also another example of man-made disaster that happened in India. The Mumbai attack. Yes, very good. Now this Mumbai terrorist attack happened in 15th March 2000 and 2008. So the Mumbai terrorist attack happened in 2008. Now we have also learned about the climatic disaster. Alright, and climatic disaster is caused due to the change in climate. And the example is landslide. And you can look at the chart. The other examples are drought and flood. Now, third type of disaster that we learned is geological disaster, and it is caused due to the various forces operating inside the earth. Alright. Now, the example for geological disaster is tsunami, and the other examples are So class, today we have learned about disaster and we focused on the types of disaster. The next class we will learn about